Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your May monthly prediction reading. This reading is a general prediction looking at the month of May specifically. If you're interested in a love prediction reading, I'm going to put something up here in your intro and also at the end of this video, just to show you that love prediction reading is from the middle of April until the middle of May. So I'll be doing a refresher for the month ahead in the middle of May. Now, this reading is intended for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Risings. If you're not a Scorpio and you're here cross-watching, you have been warned. I'm a very honest tarot reader, so you may see or hear something that you do not like about your Scorpio. Okay, let's get into it, Scorpio. First things first, I'm going to get a card from this deck. Something came out, but I didn't announce the intention. So we're going to shuffle it back in, and if it comes out again, it comes out again. We're going to get a card from this oracle deck, which will tell us the main theme that your sign can expect to experience in the month of May. Let's get these cards ready. What is Scorpio's main theme in the month of May, Spirit? Scorpio. What is their main theme in the month of May? Ooh, it didn't flip over. We're going to try one more time. What is Scorpio's main theme in the month of May? I see you trying really hard to do something, to be honest with you. I see you really trying hard to be successful in something. It could be your career, but it feels like you're doing it just for the appearance, if that makes sense. Like just for the sake of, listen, sweets, I'm seeing you trying to impress somebody with some kind of, before I look at this card properly, and before I let that cockatoo interrupt us again, it feels like you're trying to impress somebody with as an achievement or something. Now, in my hands, the main theme that I have for you is Angelite, which is connected to the number 11. We have Aquarius, the air element, and the third eye chakra. So this is pretty big energy, Scorpio. I just want to rattle off some main themes here. So I'm seeing in the month of May, you having the opportunity to conversate with somebody one-on-one. I feel like this communication has to do with your future, the direction you want to take. I see you maybe not being happy with what they tell you. And I feel like you're either going to need to figure out whether you want to stay in that situation or leave. It feels like a job, but it could be anything. One-on-one conversation, being honest, talking about your future, and trying to figure out where this person's mind's at in terms of what they want from you, what they expect from you, and where you both see this going. Now, with the third eye chakra there, I feel like you're trying to predict something, but I want you to know with Angelite being here, it literally hasn't been written yet. It's not written in the books. You're creating it in the moment. But it feels like you're trying to predict an outcome that hasn't been done yet. And this is why it's so important even when I do prediction readings, that you understand that reality is literally what you make it. So I feel like May is going to be this tiptoe of you trying to figure out left or right. Like, where am I? How certain is this? While also trying to stay present and create the moment within your present moment, if that makes sense. Create the outcome within your present moment. I see friends playing a big role in May. Maybe not all of them. If you have a big friend circle, a lot of Scorpios I know seem to have a lot of friends. But just like a select few, I'm seeing you keeping your social circle quite small. Social media could play a big role in May for whatever reason, staying connected with people, for example. But I do see you going over a distance here. So someone may be traveling to you or you traveling to somebody in May. Let's get a tarot card for you. What is happening in week 1 for Scorpio, please, Spirit, in the month of May? We'll get some specific messages for you now. Those were just the general themes. What is happening in May for Scorpio, starting with week 1? Week 1, they're showing me you, the King of Cups, but you're not happy. King of Cups reversed. What's happened to our darling Scorpio in the first week of May? Who pissed off Scorpio? Honestly, with that card reversed, I feel like there's something on our mind that we're not communicating. We're not opening up. It feels like you're brewing a storm below the surface, Scorpio, and you're not sharing it with those closest to you. Could be a partner that triggered this, or that's who you're withholding information from. And it doesn't doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. It could also be a business partner or somebody that we work with on something. But it just feels like we're not being honest about our feelings here. I see you feeling disempowered in the first week of May. You're kind of in your feels, but you're being very secretive about it, trying to be covert and careful. Very Scorpio energy. I do believe that you were triggered into this. I don't think it's just out of nowhere. I think something has happened to you here that has made you feel disempowered, but I think that you're prolonging the feeling. It feels like you don't need to make this last a whole week. It could have just been a Monday thing, but it's immediately made you want to kind of get protective and curl into your shell. You're being very secretive in that first week of May, trying not to let someone know how much this is bothering you. So what is the challenge here in the first week of May for Scorpio? This will help us understand what's going on here. What is the challenge here in that first week of May for Scorpio spirit? What's going on with you, sweets? We have the King of Pentacles coming out in the upright position. So the challenge here seems to be, oh, I'm hearing loyalty and partnership. This could be a job as well, but we've got two kings here. So the challenge seems to be closely associated to some sort of partnership, some sort of contract or something that you are working on with somebody else very similar to you, because you're showing up as a king as well. I would only assume that if they're not similar to you, they may be a little bit older than you, or they may have some sort of status over you, like a boss or someone. But it feels like loyalty is being questioned here. The challenge here is commitment and loyalty. Do we stay? Do we continue feeding? Or do we do something else for ourselves? The other reason that this King of Pentacles could be here is there's a conflict over what we are able to do for ourselves in this situation. I think of that King of Pentacles as a very autonomous individual, self-employed, for example. If that's a challenge, it's making you question how much control you have over your material world, feeling like someone's maybe infringed into your boundaries in that first week. Other than that, most of your challenges seem to be related to the workplace in the first week. Hey, not a lot going on like in your relationships, or at least you're not kind of focused on that. This isn't really a relationship reading anyway. It seems like it's more about your workplace here. So let's get advice in that first week. Advice for you is the Maiden. This card seems to love all the water signs. The Maiden is asking for you to employ a soft and gentle approach in that first week of May, to consider compassion and stillness. However, I just realized the Maiden is also the number 8, so that is you. Scorpio always makes me think of Pluto and the number 8. So I feel like with that Maiden, I do sense that things are transforming slowly, maybe just not in the way that you wish they were. Maybe they're not working in the way that you wish they were, but I think that a slower, more patient, more passive, less gung-ho, sort of fiery approach is going to work in your favor in that first week. I don't think you should shut down and go completely secretive though and covert like you do best. I think you do need to stay a bit open and receptive and communicative, but it's much more about a gentle approach there in week 1. So what's happening in week 2 for Scorpio, please, Spirit? In week 2, what is happening in week 2? Week 2, I got 2 cards here. You got to make a decision about something. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. This is the Lovers and the 3 of Swords. I'm just trying to tune into the energy to see what I'm feeling. It's a hard decision to make. It's a hard decision to make because you're trying to figure out what's the lesser of 2 evils. Either way, whether you choose this or that, someone's going to get hurt. But you have to decide at the end of the day what is going to be the best thing to do in that situation. I don't even think you're thinking of yourself, but I think that would be the best thing to do. Just do what you believe is best for you. But I'm really called to Saturn here. So this seems to be work related again, Scorpio. You seem to be trying to make a decision about your workplace. Maybe you're considering changing jobs or applying for a new position or switching roles or cutting back hours or getting more work. Whatever this is, You really want to finesse your contract or your financial situation, and you're trying to figure out which direction to take and what's going to work best for you in terms of your financial situation. And I see with the Gemini here, you're really giving it a good hard think. Like you may be even asking some of your colleagues for advice, some of your friends for advice, asking people who are in your sort of social circle. But you're thinking about it, you want to be very careful about whatever action or decision you make. And this is the main sort of theme in that second week, because it's the main thing on your mind. A lot of brain power here in the second week. You're almost overthinking this. You're trying to empower yourself with the right information. So what is the main challenge here in that second week? We have the moon. So your challenge is your feelings, your secrets, and your fears. I see the moon as a challenge being primarily about your fears, standing in the way, challenging you to overcome your fears or to address your fears. It's no use just pretending your fear doesn't exist, because it does serve a primal purpose, but sometimes it's just not necessary. So we do have to still address them in order to overcome them. I see with the moon here that there is more information to be discovered in this situation, and that's why I think that lovers, friends energy is here, because you need to kind of talk to your social circle about your circumstance, and they might be able to fill in the gaps and make you feel more confident in the decision that you're making. Can we get some advice here for Scorpio in that second week of May? What is the advice here for Scorpio in that second week of May? Oh, we have the Father. Interesting. Could be a parental figure you're seeking for support or advice or information. But with the Father being here, that's actually asking for you to take back control. The Father as an archetype is more of like someone who's responsible and in control and capable and also protective. So it feels like, honestly, the decision is up to you. Nobody else, people can tell you what worked for them, people can share their experiences, but I also don't see you necessarily asking for advice as much as you are communicating your problems. And sometimes we as human beings don't recognize when someone simply needs to communicate versus when they are asking us for a solution. So ultimately the solution seems to be coming from you, and it's about you making this decision for yourself. Your advice is to trust yourself and to stand proud in whatever decision you make, which is probably why you're being so careful and slow about making the decision in the first place, because you need to be sure that it's a decision you're going to be proud of. What about that third week for Scorpio? What is happening in the third week? Sweets, you have come through in this reading so many times. We have your card now, the Death card in the third week. So Scorpio, you're harnessing your energy in the third week of May to transform a situation in your life that you feel you need to get more power and control over. I see this as you basically forcing something to end, although I wouldn't be surprised with that card being upright that it was time for it to end anyway. I think that with that Death card here, that is really referencing an ending in order for a new beginning. Very much a transformative process in this third week of May. But I think in order for that to happen, you've got to kind of make peace with the decision that you've made in that second week. So what is the challenge here in the third week of May? We have the Six of Swords coming out for you. So Six of Swords upright, it is telling me that this conversation can be made better, or the situation, excuse me, can be made better with a healing conversation. I feel like you could really make the situation a lot better by communicating and being open and honest and just really kind of sitting down with someone and talking with them, which is what I saw in the beginning for you with Angelite here. Remember that one-on-one conversation with a friend or with somebody that is going to help you make the right choice about your future. Now, the Six of Swords is movement as well. So a challenge here could be movement or travel, but I do see that challenge being having a healing conversation. Maybe you don't necessarily get closure as you choose to end this cycle and start something new for yourself. What is the advice for Scorpio in week 3? So the advice in week 3 is being represented by the Judge card. This is telling me that you need to just do what is best in this situation, regardless of whether you're going to get the closure that you need. I see that the goal here is to just achieve an outcome and to serve justice as it is, you know. And I do think of the Judge as being someone who can come out with a verdict, or who can make the hard decisions that maybe a lot of us wish we would never have to experience. But the idea is that we're doing this for the good of all, and we're doing this to get a specific outcome as well. So as long as you're being somewhat objective, I don't see that being a bad thing. I just feel like you have so much more power than what you're comfortable with in May. It's like you keep kind of negating that power and responsibility, or you're really fiercely trying to cling it or gain it back. It's interesting. You're like dancing around certain responsibilities while also chasing other ones. It's so bizarre. It's an interesting image in my head. Let's go to that 4th week for you, Scorpio. What is happening in the 4th week of May for Scorpio? What is happening in that 4th week of May for Scorpio? We have the Sun and the 3 of Cups reversed. So something is definitely ending in the 3rd week, because by the 4th week, we feel like we're clinging to memories here. I see nostalgia. I see a connection to a social circle that's making us feel like we're missing out. It feels like we're almost being excluded from something socially here in that 4th week. We're missing somebody. But with that 3 of Cups reversed, we feel like it's not appropriate, or we're unable to connect and reach out with them. The moment has passed is what I feel. So you're kind of feeling like you're missing out on something in this 4th week, and you are nostalgic. You're in your feels again, thinking about a memory, and there's a fondness to this person and to that time in your life. But I feel like it is kind of you naturally grieving this previous cycle and embracing or learning to get used to where you're at now in this new experience. There is a general sort of down energy here in your 4th week that I want you to be aware of, just so that you can prepare yourself, surround yourself with the right energy, the right people, the right support, because in that 4th week, you're naturally just processing this ending. So it's very important that you have the right support. What is the challenge here in the 4th week of May for Scorpio? In that 4th week of May, we've got our friend, the cockatoo, came out. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords reversed. The cockatoo that's been plaguing my readings. I feel like, honestly, some things are better left in the past. Your challenge here is to not stalk the situation on social media. Your challenge here is to, like, literally, curiosity killed the cat. The Page of Swords reversed, curiosity killed the cat. Some things are better left in the past. I don't think you're missing out, actually. I think that social media is a mind game, and you're only seeing the best. That situation, it's been happened. We can't change it. All we can do is give ourselves time to process the feelings associated with that memory. Your challenge here is to let your curious mind not get the best of you, basically. Your thoughts may be circular, and they may just be throwing you in the throes of your emotions. But I don't think that there is anything that you can change, nor do, nor gain from really digging up those curiosities. So let us get some advice for that 4th week of May for Scorpio. Is there something crawling on me? No. There's so many bloody animals around this house. You just don't know. What is the advice for Scorpio in week 4, please, Spirit? We have the Vow. The Vow reversed. Oh my days. I wasn't going to take reversals, but this card literally rolled into position, so we got to take it. Somebody broke their vows. Oh my days. As advice, holy heck, I'm gonna have to hold my Amazonite crystal for this. Spirit, what kind of advice is that? Breaking your vows. To be honest with you, It feels like that is reversed because it's just an acceptance of what has happened. And I don't think that you could change nor do anything differently. I feel like I'm like holding your own hand right now and trying to like talk you through this situation. Whatever's happened in this whole month, to be honest with you, I feel like you're just doing the best that you can with the information that you have. Your advice here is don't get too attached to things that clearly were not meant for you. If that vow is broken, it's because it wasn't going to, you can't force it to come back together. It almost feels like this is like I don't know if you've ever done this, but as a kid, I always acted like I was more grown up than I was. And so I have this memory of myself waking up early when I was 3 years old trying to make breakfast, and I smashed the cookie jar. With glass, you sometimes have the opportunity to piece it back together with glue, and then other times the glass is just obliterated and you just got to buy a new cookie jar. That's what it feels like in this case. And I don't mean to make a bad situation worse by using such blunt terminology, but it does feel like with the vow reversed that this cookie jar was just obliterated, and it's a time to kind of just accept the space that separation or ending has created in our life in order for something new and better to fill it, if that makes sense. Your advice here is to just let go and to create space, knowing that you are a committed person, knowing that you are someone who either is very hardworking or just very dedicated is the energy I'm getting, and leave that space for the future. Get into that futuristic energy where you're working towards what you want and you're attracting the opportunities that you want as well. So Scorpio, that is what I'm seeing for you for the month of May. I hope this reading was helpful and informative. I hope the advice is helpful throughout the month. You're welcome to come back and see if the messages resonate more. You may have messages in your sun, moon, rising signs or other strong areas in your chart. It's up to you. I just want to thank you for all your time and energy here. I hope you have a wonderful, prosperous, abundant May, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye.